and then broadcast live on Facebook. As long as that kicks in good, we can get this party started. Janet, can you confirm that we're live, please?
I am looking right now. We just got the notification that we went live.
Hello, Facebook, YouTube, everybody. Should be all live, should be good. I'm gonna go ahead and pin this. Let me turn off that ding, that beautiful, beautiful ding. What's up, everybody? All right, guys, I'm gonna get started in just about 30 seconds here. Making sure that we are live, that we are recording so that we can replay this.
Live and recording.
Wonderful. Okay, if you want to go ahead and share in the groups, we'll get this party started. Spotlight. Okay, should be good. Everybody should be able to see me and we should get started. Hey, everybody, Tariq here with Event Hawk at Bounce My House Party Rentals. Today we're doing a warehouse tour. Let me introduce you guys to my wonderful camera guy, Andrew here. Andrew is our office manager. He does all things Event Hawk. And by the way, it's a totally another topic, but thanks to this guy, I work like 1 hour a week with this very successful business, 50 units. So let's jump right in, guys. We're going to head in here and we'll kind of start with just a bird's eye view. I'll give it to you, Andrew, in 1 second. But this is our humble operation here. We are working with 1,500 square feet of warehouse. I'll show you guys that. And then 500 square feet of office space. I think I said that right. This is our office here. And 2,000 square feet total. So this is our office, our wonderful LED sign, courtesy of Janet Thompson, Joe Parker, wonderful, wonderful people, awesome people to work with. Got this little junk room here, usually my office. I'll close that. So I'm gonna get yelled at later. Bathroom here, always clean, of course. And yeah, so we'll pass through the office real quick, but I want to show you guys this here. Other than our desktop that we have here, these are lifesavers right here. Could talk about this another day, but these are laminated packing lists that list everything that our guys need to check before they go. First thing on the list is Dolly. I know I'm not alone. Tell me in the comments if you have ever went out yourself or had your guys go out and forget the Dolly, the most important thing. So this helps prevent that. So we got a list. If you guys want a copy of this, tell me in the comments. I can get that for you. Everything that I go through today, I will compile a list and hopefully send it to you guys all in one package. But definitely let me know in the comments. So we're going to start at the bay door. So I'm going to walk over there, hand this over to Andrew, and I will walk you guys through what I want to show you guys. Now, anytime you guys want to interrupt me and ask something specific, go ahead and put it in the comments, and then Jana will stop me and ask a question. I'll do my best to clarify. And should want to move back just a little bit. All right, so this is our bay door here. Very easy operation. Nothing to it. You'll notice here we have these little packets. These are organic rodent repellents. We've been using them for years. We've never had any mice or anything. Maybe they work, maybe they don't, but we've never had any kind of rodent issues. We usually use them in the winter time, just spread them out, put them like once every month or two, and we haven't had any issues. You'll notice some space here. If you want to show kind of this section and this section, we got some space here. We got some space here. That is intentional. This is our, if you want to show the ground a little bit, this is our wet section. Anything that comes in wet goes right here. We don't want it to get the whole warehouse wet. So right at the front of the warehouse is where we put anything wet. We just pin this down just a little bit. There you go. Anything wet we want here so that the water can kind of come out and we're not kind of getting water everywhere. Also, anything really heavy we want to put kind of near the front because we want it near the door, obviously. And that's why you'll see that we have our sandbags here. So this box was given to us by one of our formal awesome employees, Randy. Might even be watching. He's awesome. He's always following our page. But that's all this is. I don't know. I don't have any advice for you on where to get one of these. or anything like that, but it's just basically a box that he was able to put together or find, and we just threw all our sandbags there. Again, we have them close to the door. You see a bunch of sand down here. It's another reason, helps, you know, all the sand, we don't want it to kind of track. We used to have them back out of the way, but now we have all the everything here so that it doesn't track. Tables and chairs, if you guys have followed me for any time at all, not a huge fan of them just because they are, you know, cleaning them is you know what. So we try to avoid tents, tables, chairs, all that stuff. We did a lot with them for a while, but then even though there was a lot of money in them, we decided to kind of really downsize. So while we at one point had like 600 chairs, I don't know how many tables. These are all of our tables and chairs. Now we got about 200. And we've gotten rid of all of our big tents and exchanged them for just pop-up tents. These just came in. So that is all we do as far as tents, tables, chairs. The amount of time that it took us to clean every chair, especially during COVID, and every table, it just wasn't worth it. So we're really downsized. We still get them. We like pickups. I love pickups for tables and chairs. Come pick them up, clean them. So what we did for that, quick tip, is we now charge a cleaning fee that's included in our delivery fee. So if we deliver, the delivery fee is included in, the cleaning fee is part of the delivery fee. But if you pick up, a way for us to protect ourselves, if the tables and chairs aren't like really spick and span, we say, well, there's a cleaning fee, $19, I think. And they'll say, what's that for? Well, we're going to clean the tables and chairs for you. But if you don't want to pay it, then you can just clean them yourself. And that just kind of helps us. We don't want to clean it. So we prefer for them to say, oh, I don't want to pay the cleaning fee. And we just give them whatever we have. And if they got some mud on them or anything like that, I don't want to have to bring some guys over and start working with the magic eraser, just kind of give it to them. And for tables, they usually just put something over it. But that is, that's pretty much what we do for table and chairs. They got these nice carts here. I think Tent and Table sells these, where we got most of our chairs, tents, carts, everything tent and table. Our tables, we got, I think Costco, Walmart, they get them like the 6-foot ones for like $40 at some point. That's what we do with those. Now let's get to the good stuff. Let's go here and look at the pallet racking. I want to show you guys something real quick. If you want to show pallet racking, we got on Craigslist and Marketplace, but I want to show you, if you look here, you'll see a big mistake that we made with our pallet racking. A lot of stuff is hanging off. And the reason we did that, or the reason it's like that, is because our pallet racking is all the way up against the wall, right? Why is it all the way up against the wall? Because I thought I was smart, right? I said, hey, if I push it up against the wall, then we'll have more space. But now we have this issue where stuff is always hitting against the wall, and the bigger units are always going to hang off. So my advice would be to have like a foot maybe or something like that, where this is up, you know, up ahead. Maybe look at some other warehouses. Maybe you guys who've already done this can give some input. But tell me in the comments if you have pallet racking. Is yours up against the wall, or do you have some space? Another issue with it being up against the wall is mold. Yeah, mold. If you notice, this is painted. We had to repaint this because it got really moldy. There was a lot of mold from all the wet units being pushed up against it. So we now, no, too late. I'm not gonna move on my pallet racking, but hopefully you guys don't make the same mistakes, and you guys can learn. When you guys do get pallet racking, go ahead and install it a little bit forward. And that's it for pallet racking. Let's talk about our units and how we have them organized. So again, we try to put our bigger stuff closer to the front of the warehouse and on the floor. We use these floor dollies. I think Harbor Freight sells these. It allows us to just simply be able to grab one of these, drag it out, like even one hand, right? Just makes it really easy. So that's kind of how we put the heavier units. We put them on the floor. And then from there, we have everything else on pallets, which we'll talk about. This is our beautiful, beautiful tarp section. If you've got a way to organize your tarps better than this, please share. There's like, I've tried everything. There's no way. I'm going to look up a little bit. Tarps suck. I mean, we use them, but they suck. I hate the way we have to organize them, but that's what we have to do. Anything above the first shelf, we use pallets. So it was really hard for me to find a pallet. So most shelves are 8 feet, and most pallets are like 4 feet. So you can only fit 2 per shelf. Again, I'm super smart, so I'm always trying to try to be smart. So I said, hey, I want to fit 3 of them, and I was actually able to find on Uline these pallet racks. They're plastic. They can be used crosswise or like this, and you could fit 3 of them on a shelf. Now, why do I say I thought I was smart? Because you'll notice that on most of my shelves, I'm still not able to fit 3 units because they're so big. But that was the idea. Like I only have like 1 or 2 shelves where we can actually fit 3, but it gives me the freedom to do that, should we choose to do so. But that's where we got these U-line. And let me show you guys, I always get this question, how do you know which unit is which? We use these magnetic labels we got on Amazon. Boom. So they're magnetic, they're cheap, they work. Pros and cons, right? Pros, it's easy. If I want to move stuff around, if I decide, I don't want this there, I have to move it, I can just move this. Cons, if this falls off, then, and you have guys that have not been around, it could cause issues. I know Nick Glassett has the straps where you can write on them. Andrew actually had a really good idea, which we haven't gotten a chance to implement yet, but QR codes. If you're using Inflatable Office, they do support QR code check-in and check-out. I've never used it. I'm super excited about using it, but I'd love to have a QR code on each section. And Inflatable Office already has the software to support this, so I don't know why nobody's doing it. Nick's already ahead of the game because he's already got it on his straps. But basically, you bring in the unit, the workers pull out their phone and they scan to say, hey, I returned this unit, and now we know it's returned, and we could check at the end of the weekend. No more, forget a unit at a customer's house for 3 days. If that's ever happened, you tell me in the comments. My record, I think, is a week and a half where customers like, hey, so you got, actually, we realized it. We're like, man, like it's the second week and this spot is still empty. I thought it was moved. And then we're like looking in the system, looking everywhere, talking to the guys. We call the customer, we're just like, hey, just to see, just to like, because you don't want to say, hey, did we pick it up? Because then you sound like an idiot. So we're like, hey, how's everything? He's like, yeah, it was good. Your inflatable still outside. Like, you couldn't say anything. You guys, they were just using it. They didn't care. I'm like, dude, it's killing your grass. But it was funny that he wasn't even going to say anything, and it was just going to sit there. So that's something that we're excited about as you grow. Again, we have about 50 units. It helps for you to have some kind of system like that. So we're excited to start implementing something like that. Any questions, Jana, so far? Anything I haven't covered before we move on?
No questions.
Awesome. All right, moving on. Let's take a look at how we label our actual units. All right, so we use the white marker. I'll link to it. I don't know if we got it here somewhere, but that's kind of how we write on the actual units. Straps, we got these off Amazon, but the next time I do straps, I'm definitely getting them from Nick Glassett. He has the straps that you can actually write on there. I guess I could do that here, but it's just there's no label and it'll probably bleed in. And I'd love to support another party rental business owner. But that's what we do. These straps are pretty cool because they just kind of, I hate the D-ring ones, but these, you just go like this and they just kind of slide back and forth. This we just use for the end of the season. So at the end of the season, we cleaned this on September 21, 2022. It was cleaned by these 2 employees and it's done. So now we know that it's done for the end of the year. We use these to kind of mark the status, excuse me, of the inflatable. So all the colors was just a way to tell us that they're clean, but I'll show you guys what these colors mean right now. So if we come over here, we use caution tape. We use a caution tape system here that we've invented by using this very technologically advanced strap tied here, and we have the ribbon and we just hang it here. So we have a few different colors. Show you guys that. So we have green. I was gonna put, there's a new green, but basically it looks something like this. Red is damaged, yellow is dirty, green is clean, and blue is wet. So every time an inflatable comes back, we grab literally just like this. If it's good to go, so when they pick it up, our policy, and I know they don't all do this, but you never find an inflatable deflated and just roll it up. We always have to inflate it. Stick your head in there. Is there cake? Is there toys? Is there a friggin' dog? Is there confetti? Like, we need to inspect it, because once we get it here, the customer's going to say it wasn't me. And if it's in there, then we can at least clean it real quick and it doesn't smudge and sit there for weeks. So if it looks good, we visually inspect it. They're supposed to mark it on their list. Just literally do one of these, grab one of these, and just come over here and go ahead and just tie it on here. And that tells Andrew that when he's getting ready for the weekend and we know that this unit's booked out, he could just come in here and say, okay, this one's clean, this one's good to go for the weekend. If it's yellow, then we know that we have to inflate it during the week and clean it. We do not clean during the week. We do everything on site. Just, we logistically speaking, that's the only thing that could work for us. So every unit that every rental, we deliver to the customer, we blow it up there, we do a spot clean, vacuum, sanitize, all that good stuff. We even put at the end of the year, what we do sometimes is we actually spray. I don't know if there's any dad. We spray Febreze into the blower just so it can smell a little bit. But we do that every time. And in the beginning, we were kind of shy. We're like, that's kind of embarrassing cleaning in front of the customer. But so many of our Google reviews mentioned that, where the customer's like, oh my God, they got on their hands and knees and clean. I saw them clean it. I know it's good. And it was a thing. Like now they expect it, and it's awesome. And it just works for us. I know some of you guys are cleaning every week. So tell me in the comments how that works for you guys. Do you guys spot clean at the customer's house? Do you guys do cleaning on site? Or do you guys blow everything up that went out during the week and clean it? I know every area is different, but I'm curious kind of what everybody does. So tell me in the comments, and I'd love to see. So moving on to blowers. So these are our blowers here. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but blowers, I found out a few years into this, that they're actually supposed to stack. So that's kind of how we put them in here. Our system, we have basically two sizes. So we kind of put them in that way. So we use zip ties. Come over here. So we got 2 horsepower and 1.5. So blue is 2 and pink is 1.5. So that's kind of how we identify our blowers. Simple zip tie on there. So this is a 1.5 horsepower blower, and the other one is a 2. So 1.5, 2, and everything just kind of goes back here. Easier said than done. As the season picks up, things kind of get messy, but that's kind of how we do with our blowers. Same thing if it's damaged, or if it doesn't work out at the customer's house or anything like that, then we mark it red. Definitely always we always try to take 1 extra blower per truck per day. We have, like this one here is damaged. You guys reported it, so we have to check it, see what's going on, make sure it's good. But this tells us right away, we don't want to have a damaged blower and somebody returns it, says, hey, this doesn't work, puts it back, and then the next guy picks it up and takes it, then ruins another party. So the simple ribbon has really been helpful for us. Moving on. How do we get stuff up here? So we have a forklift. I'll show you guys that. It is a electric forklift, not gas, made by Toyota, interestingly, but super simple. I don't know much about it. So turns on, beeps, and we just drives, and it's electrically charged. So we got this at an auction. When we got it, it was not working. I paid almost nothing for it. It just wasn't working at all. But then I called the number on the side, and they just had oh, actually it's made by Crown who makes it. But I called the number on the side that came with it, and then they're like, oh yeah, we're 15 minutes away from you. We could do a PM. So they came out, cost me like, I don't know, $1,000 to do an oil change, get a new battery, all this stuff. And we've had it, I think, like our 4th year using it. So that's how we do it. Tough find. I know it's not something you're gonna find everywhere, but I remember looking at gas forklifts and all that. Most of them have gas, and for us, this is just what worked. Just kind of an electric forklift. You just plug it, and we usually charge it once a week, and we're good to go. We have very, very little use on it, so it works for us. Going on here, this is one of our. We try not to have too many. We have like a few junk corners. So this is one of our junk corners. Just anything that we don't use often, you just throw it in there. We have some safety nets, some tarp. I don't know what we have. We got a bunch of stuff in there, but everywhere else needs a junk corner. That's our junk corner. What else? Let's move on this way. So we have some water barrels up here from when we did tents. That's what we use to kind of secure the tents on the hard surface. They sucked. I hate them. I still hate them. I need to get rid of them. So if you want to buy water barrels, hit me up, man. We'll hook you up. We got another semi junk corner here. This one is more of our smaller games, frame games, things like that. Everything's here, pumps, any kind of game. We avoid all that stuff now. We found that just for our operation, again, not recommending anybody else do this, but for us, adding on a 30, 40, 40, 50, 60, even $75 game or cotton candy machine or whatever, it's just not worth it. The upsell just takes up so much time. something is always going to break. The guys are going to throw something. And what we experience is in many cases, the $400, $500, $600 party, now they want a refund or something back because the $75 upsell didn't work, or the cotton candy machine, this or that. And it's just not worth it. The cleaning, the storage, the repairs, the all that stuff for us, we literally almost do no upsells other than tables and chairs now. And even that is just very minimal. Again, not recommending you guys do that. We've done it all. We've done everything from movie screens to photo booths to cotton candy machines to concessions to you name it. But we have found that profitability wise, it just works. We're in and out now. It's so easy. Like in 1 week, we can train an employee within 1 weekend, and they could be fully trained almost like an expert, because we just do one thing, and that's inflatables. And that's really helped us grow our company. Like I said, we got 50 units. Our average sale is close to 500 now, $500, which is awesome. I mean, I'm really happy with that. No upsells, 1 unit, usually 1 inflatable, maybe a couple tables. It's just $500 with delivery fees and everything. I'm super happy with that. I don't want to have to worry about a bunch of little things that are going to get lost and broken, but that's just me. We have generators here. That's another upsell that I stay away from. These are whatever generators we have left. We avoid them like the plague. We no longer do parks. We no longer rent out generators. We still have them in case I need to use them for personal use or family member, or we just, just some circumstance. But again, generators, issues with gas, issues with them not working, issues with the customer plugging in other things in there. We don't really want to do parks anymore just because of the time, right? They want you to be there at a certain time and all that stuff. So we don't really do that anymore. Dollies. All right. Big surprise here. Big shock. I do not own a power dolly. Don't ask me why. I never jumped on the bandwagon. My guys literally would almost fist fight over this dolly right here. Right. So you'll see we got 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 of them now. So this is everybody's favorite dolly. Oh, this one's missing a pin. Going too low. Almost all right. Anyways, this is everyone's favorite dolly. They literally they love this thing. It's when it has a pin, it can carry the whole inflate, no matter how heavy it is. It's small. It's not big and bulky. If you notice, like we have this big one here. I forgot who we got this one from. It's huge. It's a monster. Like, I mean, look at these tires, but it's, we had issues and it's just so big, so big. What I love about these is the tires will never, ever, ever go flat, right? Never had issues with tires. The biggest issue is every once in a while, the pin you might need to replace, just from guys handling it, just throwing things on it. But I mean, once every season or two, maybe, but they love this dolly. They don't even know what an electric dolly is. They don't know that one exists. Don't tell them. If I find out, then if they find out, then I'm screwed. So they've never asked for one. They've never seen one. I know if you're in bigger markets like Houston or Florida, then everybody knows what those are, but that's what's worked for us. And they love it. And I just love how it turns. Like, look how it just flawlessly turns. I don't know, you can't see it here. It just really like just spins even at the customer's house. No problem on grass. We got no issues. But totally understand the use of an electric dolly. Maybe one day. I know Jana has a pink one, and my wife's like, "Ooh, there's a pink dolly out there." So now she's thinking about it. This one's pretty wide. This one we like as well, but it's pretty wide. So we've had issues sometimes fitting through gates and stuff. So we don't use it much. Here we have whatever we have left of our tents. So these are our tent tops. We have some tent poles and stuff, but we're pretty much over the whole tent thing. We have the absolute worst item to store, which is highboy tables. So we have the highboy tables, and then the base, and then the poles is just impossible. I don't know if you guys know of a good way to store these. We store them like that. I hate them. But if you have a good way to store them, definitely share. But that's kind of, we just throw them in this corner here. We're good to go. Here's our towel system. So we have two towel baskets. Green is clean, yellow is dirty, same as everything else. So our guys, when they're ready to go, they grab some clean towels from here, and then once they come back, they just throw them in here. For now, we're washing them. We do have on our agenda to look into possible solutions. I know there's companies out there that will wash your towels and give you new ones or whatever. I don't know if it'll be worth it. I know Jana does something like that. I did look into it briefly. I couldn't find an affordable solution, but we're gonna try again just so that the logistics are there. Look what I got here. This looks familiar. Boom, the jump off, Nick. So this is something that we only have one of these now, but we definitely want to start using these more often. All of our crews go out in teams of 2. So something like this would help. But if you notice, we don't really have anything really, really big. We stick to just combos, 18-foot, 16-foot slides, 15, 18-foot slides. We don't really go above that. Again, just because I want to be in and out. I'm all about volume. I find that the bigger the job, the less we take home. So we're just, for us personally, we were able to grow our company just by doing a lot of the same back and forth within a very small radius. So our delivery radius is only like 15 miles and we stay super busy. So if you've never tried these, look these up. Nick Glassett, the jump off straps. Here we have another semi junk corner, but not really. This is just our cleaning stuff. Let's see what we got here. So if you have mold or if you have just tough stains, this stuff is amazing. It's called Blitz. It's by Ship, SHIPP, I think. Yep, Ship. It is amazing. We use this for our tents. It's made for tents, for tent cleaner, and it helps. I mean, it's insane how, if it could work on white, it works on anything. Highly recommend this stuff. Dilute it, right? Don't make the mistake of pouring it on there. They have the instructions, but use this stuff. Just dilute it, and it's really, really good for cleaning. There's this other tent cleaner that we use. This one is more for white. This one I think is just for, it's been a little while, so I'm not sure the difference between these two, but I know we have both of them. These are just for tough stains. For everyday stuff, we use what do we use, Andrew? We use where's that stuff? It's somewhere back there.
That's
Nope.
more Blitz. Did they run out of it?
So yeah, we might. It's in a box somewhere. But we use, help me out, Jana. What do we use? What's the stuff everybody uses?
Autobahn.
Autobahn. There you go. That's what we use. It's in a box somewhere. Our season's just starting up. But yeah, we just use regular spray bottles, fill them up with water. Autobahn. That's what we use. Smells good. You're good to go.
Tariq, there are a couple of questions about what type is the yellow Dolly.
Yes, this one we got it from probably made in USA. I can get back to you on what's that company, Jana, the
Overland? Per
Grand something, Grand
Granite Industries.
Granite Industries. Yep, that's where we got it from. Tent Table sells them as well. Granite Industries is I think the original name. We got it straight from Granite Industries. Man, I'm just noticing how good these shirts look. These look good. Thank you, Jana. I would never think to wear something like this for work, but jumped on the bandwagon finally, and they look good. Excited. All right. So our warehouse has a sink here, so we use that for cleaning of stuff. If you are thinking about getting a warehouse, big mistake is we want to make sure that there's a water source. We got lucky. I mean, I didn't even think to ask, but we just so happen to have one. But definitely have a water source, high ceilings. You want to be close to a gas station, all these little things close to your house. Probably number one advice that I have for you, if you're ever looking to get a warehouse, make sure it's close to your house, especially if you're in the beginning. You are going to have those Saturdays where you're going to have to run and grab something. You don't want to be 45 minutes away from your warehouse just because you got a good deal. It's so much worth it. I mean, any more than 15, 20 minutes is just too much, especially if you don't have a crew yet, if you don't have an office manager, if you know that you're in and out. It's you just want to be able, you don't want to have to like leave your family and everything on a weekend. Definitely being close is really, really important. Another big tip is ask about parking spots, right? Parking spots, you're going to want to not just parking spot, just an area to clean. We did have we butt heads a little bit with neighbors, but our landlord, fortunately, like we had enough vacant spaces that it's working out. But if we get a new tenant next door who says, hey, I need my parking spots, I need to use them, then we can't clean. So you need to make sure that it's okay to clean outside, that you have enough space. Otherwise, it's going to be really, really tough. This is probably our newest addition. We got this 2 years ago. And honestly, the best thing that we did for our business as far as company culture and just kind of getting the guys excited. It is insane. It's true. The key to a guy's heart is his stomach. Just having a fridge with some snacks and a microwave has just, these guys just come in. It's like a religion. Like right before they leave, or they make sure they have the dolly, they check everything, and then they come and they raid this thing, right? We have we don't have anything, right? We don't have a pop, but we usually have popsicles, We have a bunch of Gatorade. Sometimes we have energy drinks. Try to avoid the energy drinks much, but Gatorade's usually pretty good. We got some chips here. We usually have beef jerky. We usually have cereal bars, things like that. On weekends, it's really cool. I think, you know, like when you used to work, you know, when the boss comes in and brings donuts or something like that. So every weekend we would just bring in. Every weekend I would come in, right? I would bring in donuts or something like that. They just feel appreciated, you know. They just feel like it's the job. It's not like a side hustle where they're just going to work for a day. And ever since we started doing that, thus far this year, we have, I think, 3 crews so far.
Yeah.
3 crews and really that's all we need. We have not had to hire this year. This is the 3rd year in a row, knock on something, that we really haven't had to hire. They just keep coming back. And I do believe that. And it's been since we started doing this kind of stuff. It matters. It sounds silly. It sounds like something like that's not a big deal. You always think about pay, how much are you paying your guys and all that, but they start to become friends with one another. They start to really appreciate the little things, and it just feels like a job for them, right? So just doing those little things, and these are things that I learned from others, right? It wasn't my idea. Jana taught me a lot of that. That, you know, I was just like, that's popsicles, really? That's not going to help with hiring, but hey, it works. So that's what you do there. I still have not gotten around to watching or implementing Nick Glassett's video on how to roll these. I tell you guys from day one, I'm the marketing guy, right? Websites, marketing, funnels, I got you. All this hands-on stuff, I'm just lucky to get by, but this is just how we roll up our extension cords, and we throw them in this big bucket here. The guys are usually pretty good about rolling them up and putting them back in place, so we really haven't had any issues there. This is how we organize our stakes. So somebody recently asked me about these. These are a Husky brand, if you want to zoom in a little bit. Husky brand stackable storage bins, right? That's all we use for our stakes. So we have our hook stakes here. Oh, these are pretty big. And tarp stakes kind of at the bottom, and we just label them. And that's pretty much how we do them. It's nice, it's organized. Always think about using the height of any space, not just your warehouse. But that's what we did here. Instead of, we used to have a bunch of buckets, you know, with stakes, but now anytime you can get something stackable, that's what we want to do, because you utilize the height and it looks great. So that's what we do there. Trash cans, and then these vampire stakes right here. These are tent stakes. If anybody's thinking about getting into tents, this is the minimum size you're thinking about using, right? So just think about a 16-year-old that you're going to hire going down on one of these on a gas line or something like that. So scary stuff. I know I'm scaring you away. Good. Stay away from tents. No, a lot of money in tents. Tents are great, but it's just the liability, man. Liability of bringing. But these are insane stakes, right? I did have a situation. We call 811 Julie Dig on every event for tents when we did them. And we did have a situation where literally the yellow flag was right here, and the guy put the stake right there. Like I don't even get it. So one of our team members did that, one of our employees did that. And it was a wedding, and it was the day before their wedding, and they called us and they're like, Nicor is out here and they're saying that you need to come out. They need to talk to you because you put your stake in a gas line. I'm like, holy God. Well, so I had to go out there. It was raining, it was cold. And he's like, yeah, man, you know, you didn't see the flag. And I'm like, oh my God, literally like right into the flag. And he's like, yeah, you know, I'm like, okay, I'll take it out. He's like, no, you can't just take it out. If you hit a gas line, it's going to be leaking. And, you know, you need to literally, I can believe this. You need to dig around it. You cannot, this whole thing, you can't just take it out. You need to dig a hole big enough until it pretty much falls over, because then we can make sure that it's not inside a gas line. That's the only way. I'm like, dude, that's ridiculous. You get all your tools and all, you can't figure it out. So I literally, in the cold, had to sit there with a shovel, and he was not allowed to help me. He's like, I'm sorry, I feel bad. I wish I could help you, but it's against, you know, protocol. I can't help. So the bride, the groom, and the Nicor guy were just literally watching me as I shoveled to get one of these out, because we went into nothing happened. It was fine. It was, you know, close to the gas line, but it didn't go in there. That sucked. Yeah. So that's another reason I never want to do tents again. But I digress. This is our everything else shelves here. We have scissors, ribbons. These, I just got these off Amazon, actually. Pretty cool. It comes like the whole set. So we have our red, yellow, green, blue. Pretty cool. Some other colors. We have this bad boy right here. If you need to measure like measure a yard or something like that, we use this.
Tariq,
Everything else.
Randy said when someone hit the water line and I got sprayed when I pulled it out, laugh out loud.
Yep. That was, we actually did that at a, it was a few times actually we hit water lines. But yes, what's up, Randy? Love the Randy's watching. Randy's one of our loyal employees from a while back. He's moved on, but thank you for watching, Randy. I need to show you guys something really, really important. This right here. Let me tell you guys the importance of family, okay? So these two tires right here, this is what happens when you let your brother-in-law bring stuff into the warehouse and he says, I promise I'm going to get it out before the season starts. I know you're just sitting there. So this is what happens with family. It's been 2 seasons now, Jamil. I'm waiting for you, bro. Come grab your tires, man. I'm gonna throw them out. But yeah, this has been 2 seasons. I promise you guys are close for the season. I'm just gonna use it. I'm just gonna put my tires there, and he still hasn't grabbed them. So I need to find a tire shredder or something, or just throw them out. But taking up our space. Love you, Jamil, but come grab your stuff, man. Seriously. What else? I think that's about it. Anything we're missing, Andrew?
Trailer.
Trailer outside.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys want to see the outside? You can see the outside. Anything else inside, Jana? Let me show you guys real quick. So our warehouse is like an L shape. You can see. So something like that. And we have high, I think 18-foot ceilings. We have cameras, Wi-Fi, the whole 9 yards. Does the job. And then the outside.
You could probably just do it from there.
So Andrew parked this trailer, not me,
Yeah, it's bad.
all crooked like that.
It's bad.
He's been meaning to fix it, but I won't, because I'm such a good leader, I won't fix it for him. I said, you got to figure that out. It was his first time driving a trailer, and he's going to get it. I mean, maybe every day, like give it. I played Grand Theft Auto when I was a kid, so I learned, that's where I learned how to drive. But so they give us like 4 parking spots, so that's what we use. But then we have this bay area right here. Our neighbors are pretty cool now that they let us, on the weekends kind of use their area. But this is kind of what our spot looks like from here. We had to get a trash can. But that is our humble operation. So out here we have some more snacks, coffee, printer. This board we use a lot. This board is really good for motivation. We just got our first review of the season. Yeah. We just got one review, which is our first weekend. So I'm gonna update this. But this is really good for competitions. Another thing that really helped us is competition. Having some kind of just friendly stuff for these guys. So you'll see this here. We do our review raffles. So every time your name is mentioned in a review, then we put it in a review, and we do like Chick-fil-A gift cards, whatever. Every time it's something different. But what we do is we have these cards. So our business cards are supposed to be empty on the back. I don't know, these are older ones. But anyways, we have business cards that are empty on the back. And on the back of it, we have our guys write down their names, and they hand the business card to the customer and say, I wrote my name on the back. Please leave a review and mention my name. That would really help me get a bonus or something like that. And I was talking about this yesterday in Jumpstart. It's kind of like tipping, right? You want to tip the waiter or the waitress, but you don't really want to tip the business, right? Like the restaurant's fine, but you feel more of a personal connection with the waiter, so you want to tip them. So when your guys kind of write their names, like, hey man, this really helps me if you mention me. It's crazy what happened. We not only did we start getting more reviews, the reviews, like we'd have 3 guys deliver sometimes and 2 guys pick up. They will literally mention all 5 guys' names, right? They'll like, oh, Mark, Jack, and Tom were awesome on the delivery, and Joe and Alan were great when they picked up. I'm like, holy moly, you guys are aggressive. But it worked. It was really cool. And they started checking our Google My Business, our Google Maps. Like they would check, hey, look, Tariq, I got a review. They mentioned my name. It was really cool. They took some ownership of our reviews. And that was really, really cool for culture. We do things like that sometimes. So that we try to do consistently in the winter, in the summertime. We've done a few other, this year I'm excited about doing a social media competition where we have them post on our TikTok, Instagram. I've just failed at it consistently, right? It's hard. It's really hard. There's so many platforms, and unless you're in the field consistently, and sometimes you're tired and you just don't want to post, you don't want to take pictures, and you don't want to do all that. But these guys are on it all day. So hopefully we're excited about doing something like that where they post. And I don't know what it's going to look like, but that's the plan. And I think that about summarizes our tour here. Go ahead, Jen.
Couple of comments. Warehouse looks awesome, neat, clean, and organized. Do you print out your routing info every week, or do your guys have access to that online?
Both. So they do have access to it online, but we like to print it out. Andrew, did you print everything out this last week or no?
Yeah.
Do you have them, or you have a copy of? So yeah, we haven't printed them out, and we because whenever we use the app, just I don't know, they forget things. Paper and pen. I never thought I'd be that guy. My wife always said, like, it's better to write, and I'm like, you're crazy. It's freaking 2023. Who writes stuff anymore? But it gives them ownership when they literally put a pen to paper and they put their initials next to each item, next to each thing that they got. They know that they're not going to forget it. And it is so costly, man. Like when they forget a blower or something like that, it just ruins your whole weekend. It sets all the customers behind. Payroll goes up, gas goes up. It's just not worth it. I'm like, I'm going to invest in a printer, print it. And they still have the app. So they use the app for routing. Like, so they'll click on the inflatable office app. It'll show the customer's address. It'll take them to the next address. It'll show if the customer owes a balance and all that good stuff. And then they use the paper for the packing list. Every piece, how many stakes, how many blowers, which tarps. And it's really made it a no-brainer because our warehouse is so organized. Somebody totally new can come in and they know exactly what's a 2 horsepower blower because I marked them. You know, I have, it's bad now, but we have like right here, like this pink is 1.5. So we have it labeled and they can just come in and they know exactly what they need to do. Like literally half an hour of training and they're almost experts because everything matches up. Everything is, you know, green is clean, whether that's towels, whether that's units, whether that's whatever it is. Same thing with yellow. We use the same system for everything. And again, it's just made it so much easier. You guys know how hard it is to hire and lose people. So it just makes it easier. So we don't have to spend a month training somebody and then they leave. If somebody leaves, we didn't really invest much time training them. They're good to go there. But this has really helped here. Again, I can get you guys a copy of this. Let me know in the comments. I'll put it in the description of the video. But this is the stuff that is the same for every stop, right? Dollies, mallet, cleaning spray, Febreze, towels, vacuum, take an extra blower, extension cords, business cards, pen. And then really important, they clock in and out through inflatable office. We use the workers module because it can tell us where they're located when they clocked in and out. And it also ties it to their route. So it'll say, today you should be working, 6 hours because you have these 4 inflatables. It calculates how long it takes to set up these inflatables. And it advises me that you should put your guys on the clock for this many hours today. And it really helps us kind of track everything. But then in addition to that, we use Life 360. It's a free app. It shows us where they are, right? So part of their to-do list, before they leave, they turn on Life 360. And then we have a pre-trip checklist at the bottom. And one of the things is make sure Life 360 is on, check the tires, check the gas, make sure you have a phone charger because, we all know, oh yeah, my phone died. That's why I haven't been answering. That's why I'm 2 hours late to a stop. Always make sure you have a phone charger. So that's that list. We have pre-trip and post-trip. Post-trip, leave the keys, big one, right? Don't take the keys home with you. So this is the law right here. And we laminated them, and this is really important. But this is for everyone. For each stop, we do go ahead and print it. That's fine. But
Tariq, somebody's asking what square footage your warehouse is.
So the warehouse is 1,500 square feet, and the office is 500.
Fantastic. And I agree with you on having everything printed out as well. Good job.
Thank you. Can't wait for your warehouse tour. Sure, you do things way better. You're gonna you're being nice right now.
Nope,
Twice as long as me. So
you are way better. Way ahead of me, friend. Way ahead of me. Just wait. I'll do one.
Can't
Gotta clean
wait.
it up a little bit.
These insane results from.
Any other questions?
I don't see any. Oh, let's see. Jana's is probably messy now, but will be cleaned up thanks to putting her on the side. Kevin, that is 100% true. I'm like, dang, he just called me out. So I have Susie, my new office girl. She's going to be over there like cracking the whip, making sure that it looks good for when we go live. Not going to lie.
Exactly what I've been coaching Andrew for 3 days now. I'm like, bro, I'm gonna go live in front of all these people, man. You got to make sure it's all good. Check the snacks, check all this. So this is best case scenario, but you guys know how it is. And in the summertime, I can't, it's never this nice. It's always crazy, but that's good. You know, you don't want everything to be perfect.
Sure. Kids Fairyland said, when are you going to have another webinar like the school and churches mailing campaign?
Other
Rant-
master class. Well, tell me what you want me to do a webinar on. We might do one. We have an outline of what webinars we're going to do next. I think in a couple weeks we're going to do one on marketing, since it's that time and people are starting to look. But if you guys have something specific you guys would like me to do a webinar on, again, my specialty is websites and marketing, then please let me know.
Okay, and then it says, Randy says you should mention that we started in storage units.
Yes, very good point, Randy. So Randy was with me when we started in storage units. So we started from our garage, just like most of you guys, and then we moved on to a storage unit, and then 2 storage units, and then 3, and then 8, and then at 8 storage units, when we needed a 9th one, it was like, yeah, let's look into. It was literally like, which storage unit has which one has the chairs, which one has the dollies, which one has the blowers. It was crazy. So storage units was a really good in between before getting warehouse. I would highly recommend going to storage units before you get a warehouse. It's just a big, like in the off season, it sucks. Like what we have to do, if you guys have seen my video on ROI and paying yourself first, we literally every week we have a savings account. We have to take a percentage out and put it in our off season account. Because we know how much we need to come up with to pay our bills in the off season. And we have to come up with that money because in the off season, we literally shut down for like 6 months. So there's no income, but we still got to pay rent, still got to pay for our website, still got to pay for insurance, all that stuff. It's rough, honestly. I'm not going to lie, but if you plan ahead, it's totally doable. And you could do like us, you could just totally shut down and work on your business, work on strategy rather than try to get any indoor event here and there, any table and chair event. Just take time off and enjoy the break. But yes, storage units. Thanks for the reminder, Randy. It was rough.
Someone else wants to know if you wouldn't mind sharing how much you pay for rent.
I only don't want to share because it hasn't been raised in a while. I don't want my landlord to hear. No, I'm kidding. It's about $2,000. So out here, that's what we pay. It's about $2,000 for rent per month. We pay all the utilities and things like that. It might be a little more, something like two something, or low twos, like 2,050, 2,100, something like that. Usually they, so my sister actually just got the unit next door. They're getting evicted, unfortunately. Hope they're not watching this. But she actually got that unit. She's been looking for something around here, and she's paying more than me for a little bit smaller unit. And part of her agreement was that it's going to go up by 5% every year. I don't know if that's common, but I looked into it. I guess it's not uncommon. Another thing to note is that, let's see here, you get a free month, when you get a warehouse, something like that, they don't really give you more than that. She had to like paint it and do everything on her own. So they just gave it to her. Outlets is another big thing. I forgot to mention, make sure that there's power. We blow a lot of fuses here. Or should I say fuses, circuit breakers. So we cannot have more than 3, maybe 4 blowers on at this warehouse before something pops off. And it's probably because I'm doing it wrong. It's probably because I don't know where the circuits are, because that's just who I am. I'm not good with that stuff. But that's why we end up using the generators end of the year. We use the generators for cleaning when we want to put out 6, 7, 8 units to clean. But it's kind of a pain. It's kind of annoying, honestly.
Let's see. Kids Fairland, Catherine, maybe. I want to make more money. How to bring in more clients is her recommendation for the next webinar or masterclass.
All right.
Kevin Barboza says, where do you buy your shelves from? And JC says, my life right now, garage, tent, tables, chair. Oh, garage 1, tent, tables, chairs, garage 2, inflatables, storage 1, decorations, storage 2, water slides. Laugh out loud.
Yeah, you got to do the math. You got to do the math if it's worth it or not. You know, it's tough. Now, I know a lot of people I hear are out there building their warehouses because they don't want to pay rent. For me, I just don't want to have to worry about all that. I know it's, you know, they come in, they check all the stuff every once in a while. I don't have to worry about property taxes or anything like that. I don't have to worry. I mean, I probably save money if I build it myself, but the location is great. I got a gas station literally a minute away. The highway is nearby. It's worth it. It's a business expense. So it just makes sense for us. And when I went from storage to warehouse, I did the math, and it was an extra an extra $1,000 a month from what we were paying for all those storage units or something like that. And I said, hey, I have to make it my goal, because my wife was like, absolutely not. You're out of your mind. We are not moving to a warehouse. But I said, listen, $1,000, and you guys may have heard me say this before, it's not $1,000. Our currency is not US dollars. Our currency is bounce house rentals, and $1,000 is about 3 bounce house rentals, right? So that's the currency we're using. Do you believe that having a warehouse will help us get at least 3 extra bounce house rentals per month? She's like, yeah, I guess if we I'm like, all right, that's it then. It's a no-brainer. Let's just do it. So she finally said yes, and that made sense for us. But that's kind of how I did it in my head, and I made it my goal. I'm like, if that means I have to get on the phone with customers and just sell just to get those extra 3 rentals per month to be able to cover that, that's what I'm going to do. And in the beginning I did. It didn't just kick off right away, but now we have customers come in to pick up tables and chairs every weekend. We have customers come in to, things like that. Sometimes they come in for consultations. One time we were sitting on a Saturday, and guess who walked in? Just walked in on a Saturday just to get a quote. It's the craziest thing. The U.S. Postal Service. Whoever they assigned to put together their company party, these 2 women walked in, and they're like, oh, hey, they just pulled up. I'm like, what are you guys doing here? And they just like, we're busy Saturday. Like, yeah, we just wanted to get a quote. We're planning a company party, and we've been doing their company party for years now. United States Postal Service. Super proud. It's crazy. So that's kind of having that location. It's also a brag for us, like a flex when customers say, hey, you're $50 more than so-and-so. I say, well, where's so-and-so's warehouse? I got a warehouse. Like, if there's an issue, you could come find me. You don't even know if they're going to show up, right? I've got my reviews. I got my warehouse. I got a physical location. It's like those guys at the mall, right? You got all the cool new tech stuff, but you buy something from that little guy, the little thing in the middle of the mall, and then next week they're gone, right? You don't have to worry about that happening. Sorry to go on a tangent. There was another question about, I think from Kevin. He said, where do I get my shelving? We got our shelving from Marketplace and Craigslist. 2 different times, I think. You see, like, there's a little different in color, but that's where I would search. Seems like there's always somebody selling them, and we were able to negotiate, if I remember correctly, because there's so many others selling them, and they actually came out and installed them for us. We paid for them to install them. They screwed them into the ground. But just ask just make sure that what the regulations are in your area. Like for us, we had to have, listen to this, 50% of the shelves need to be empty in case there's a fire. What do you mean? That's ridiculous. Literally, that's the law. 50% of the shelves need to be empty, or you can accomplish that a different way by having these graded shelves. This counts as 50% of the shelf being empty in case of a fire. So had I not known that, I would have got different shelving maybe, and would have been screwed. So definitely check the regulations, because they did come and check. They inspected us multiple times. They inspect fire extinguishers. They inspect safety exits. They inspect the shelving and all that. So that's my 2 cents on shelving. We have a couple minutes left, so we can take a couple more questions, and then we are going to wrap up. Anything else, Jana?
Someone said, okay, so I'll read this first. Thanks for this tour. It helps a lot to see how to improve different things in our storage and how to make our employees feel more appreciated. And then Randy said, are you still using the little shop vacs to clean the units?
Shop vacs, yes. We have a love-hate relationship with the shop vacs, but yeah, we just use the plug-in ones where we plug them in at each stop. We used to use the battery ones, they just keep dying. So yeah, we just use the shop vacs to vacuum at every stop. Little ones, they have at Walmart, I think like $30, something like that.
Awesome. I think that is it.
All right. Well, thank you guys oh so much for giving me an opportunity to show off our humble operation. Excited to see Jana's and you guys. So hopefully we'll see more tours out there. I know I've done some of these before, just kind of real quick on my phone, but I hope this kind of gives you guys some insight. And I'm definitely not doing everything perfect, but after being in the industry for 8 years, this is kind of the culmination of my knowledge and experience. So I hope I've helped you a little bit today, and I look forward to learning from you guys. Have a great day, everybody. All right, we can stop the